Welcome to Expert Matters. My name is Shruti, and we decode real world product leadership with those who have built it from scratch. Today, we have Sashank with us, an IIT Madras graduate and a dynamic product leader who's built and scaled tech powered solutions across domains like fintech, e commerce, edtech, and many more. From launching one of the first chatbot for a leading e-commerce marketplace company in India and integrating voice UX to doubling conversion rates at Upgrad and slashing losses by crores, Sashank blends analytical thinking with user-first design. Let's dive into his minds and learn a lot of methods which he has used in his entire career journey. Welcome, Sashank. We're good to have you.
Yeah, hi Shruti, good to have you too.
Thank you so much for taking our time for this. Can you also help us understand about your journey in a little context so that me and our viewers are aligned, and then we can ask you a lot of questions today.
Sure. So, I have graduated from IIT Madras in 2019 with a background in civil engineering. So, I have a couple of certifications, like one certification from Google and then certification from Duke University on product management. So, I am originally from Visakhapatnam and currently live in Bangalore. I started my corporate career at Citibank as a software developer, where I first actually discovered that my passion for product management is. That led to a meesho, a fast-paced product company, and then to Upgrad, where I work as a growth product manager. Outside work, I'm a national level basketball player and love going on bike trips wherever I can in Bangalore.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. Bangalore really does have a lot of, scenic views. So bike
Yes,
riding is a cherry on cake.
correct.
Awesome. So I have a lot of questions for you today. We at ISBR, we have a separate specialization of MBA or PGDM in product management. And the target audience for this video is those students who are trying to build their career. My first question is, what does building a data-powered, user-centric product mean to you in real-world execution? Because we have read the theory and now we want to understand the practicality of it.
Correct. So let me give you some brief context of this. So building a data-powered user-centric product means systematically trying to bridge the gap between the institution and the evidence. So it's
Okay.
not just about collecting metrics, but putting analytics at your heart of every decision basically. Basically, there are tools which we can get hands on, even though we are students or expert or any person with corporate experience, we can utilize these tools. These are some analytic tools like Clever Tab, Mixpanel, and basic SQL dashboards or querying using SQL to just understand about the user journey and to track the user interactions, across any product. So you might be working on any product, but these type of tools will give you that data whatever you want to look at. So, however, basically the real value mainly comes from every decision with respect to the real user problem, not just in data or assumptions. For instance, I'll give you one small example. At Upgrad, I did an experiment of optimizing the funnel. So I have suggested that we should remove some extra or redundant steps which are there in the self checkout flow. So this was first coming from intuition. Then what I did was I had a proper data level backing to see the complete funnel journey. And I had
Okay.
a backing of users also. I did a proper user research, spoke to almost 20 users who gave me the input that the complete journey on the website is a bit confusing. So I wanted to minimize the number of steps. So basically intuition, data, and the user, all the three
Okay.
have come in place there. So end of the day, if the solution or the feature which you're trying to build, if these all three checkboxes are ticked, you can go ahead and build. And this actually gave almost a 20% improvement in our funnel conversions.
Oh, wow.
So this is the major thing. Always we need to focus on these three things instead of intuition is one thing. I completely agree because creativity, intuition are definitely needed in the product management journey. But data and the user understanding are the cherry on cakes, you should say. If those are
Correct.
also in line with that, it will obviously be a success.
Awesome. So, you just not focus on what people say or maybe what users say, but you actually focus and read data of what they're actually doing on the platform.
Correct. Correct. So basically, the major takeaway is like use data to inform, but always
Hmm.
validate the voice of the customer also. Like sometimes
Right.
data can be showing something else, because
Hmm.
the word of mouth of the customer is the most important thing, because we are there for solving the customer problem. So that is the main thing.
Right, that is gold actually.
Yeah.
You've successfully implemented chatbots at, Meesho and Upgrad. That's one of the biggest companies in India. And what do most teams get wrong when trying to automate user journeys? Because,
Hmm.
user journeys are very specific and these are very delicate funnels, where a product manager focus. Because if I, as a user, I don't have a very smooth journey at any platform, I have a very easy replacement or maybe very easily alternative available in the market. If I don't have a great experience at Swiggy, say for example, I can easily switch to Zomato. If I don't have it on Zepto, I can switch it to Blinkit. So how do you make sure that automation of these user journeys and these chatbots are successfully implemented?
Hmm. So, like to give you some context, right? Like many teams, like for treat automation solely as for like cost cutting, like how you mentioned, like there are something like, for example, if there is a chatbot used for the support function, they want to just deflect those tickets to the chatbot and reduce the number of tickets. So this often what happens is this is like leads to a neglecting the fact that users like car one understanding, like you're not able to understand what the user wants, because
Okay.
nothing is being solved by the scripted answers. Like end of the day, if you want a specific answer, user will expect there should be an human touch. So to give you some more product context, like let me jump to two of the chatbots which I worked on. So for example, in Meesho, I was working on the support chatbot. So the chatbot was addressed to support the user on here on their queries. So here what the positioning of the chatbot was, I was trying to position it as a quicker resolution and as an alternate support channel. Okay, sir. The focus on providing user rapid help, like mainly was like most issues will be solved within 2 minutes, because chatbot is generally for that. Like while, for example, Meesho had a call me back request, like they had a call me back support, which is like a direct callback from an agent, and
Okay.
it has a TAT of 12 minutes. So
Hmm.
basically, I was trying to divert my traffic to a better version, not the best, because the best is the call, because directly an agent is calling. But I want to position it in such a way that you will get a quicker solution, so that I
Right.
can divert my traffic to from the best to the better. So the positioning of the product also matters here. Like you are thinking, okay, let me just give that chatbot option, but if you are not positioning it in the right way, you will get only the call me back request. They will not know what is the essence of the chatbot,
Hmm.
even though you're trying to give them a faster solution.
Hmm.
Now, I'll give you a similar example of chatbot in Upgrad. Whereas in Upgrad, I work on the growth side, right? So here, my main objective of the chatbot is it should help the coming visitors on the platform to uh, to basically explore the website. So basically, if they have any problem or any query during exploring the website,
Mm-hmm.
so they can use this chat, drop their queries, get their answers then and there with the agent or the bot, and then these agents will actually help them traversing or exploring the website. So basically, we will try to get an inquiry through this chat. So it is again two different chatbots. Like Meesho was on the support side, solving user queries. Upgrade here is trying to use the chatbot to get the user inquiry, so that the sales team can come into the picture or the agent can get that inquiry to the payment. That is the difference. Like the key is to recognize that each bot must solve unique user problems. Like automation
Correct.
isn't the goal, enhancing empathy, resolving problems quickly, and building the
Hmm.
trust is basically, because everything will have their own use case or their own problem it's addressing for.
Hmm. So you are, implementing automation to remove friction, but not personality of the users
Correct.
on your website. I love the part
Correct.
about designing for emotions and not just actions, to be honest.
Correct.
That's very thoughtful. And as a user, when I log in or maybe when I go up to any website or an app, My experience, if is very smooth, then I can get that a product manager or maybe an engineer has put their emotions on my experience on the website, because now I have started analyzing through that point of view. So that's
Correct.
really taking user empathy under consideration. My next question is about that as well. You have helped reduce losses by 75% and support costs by 10%. That's a huge
Hmm.
number when it comes to one of the leading companies in India. So how do you balance between business impact and user empathy, because you have two ends to manage and these are completely opposites to each other?
Hmm. So to give you a better example, right? Like for example, any best product decision or a product feature ensures that impact and empathy move hand in hand or together. Okay, so that is the major thing which everyone misses out. Like for example, like I said, if everyone is going through with their gut feeling and not backing it with the user problem or not backing it with the data, then you will always see that the impact and the numbers or the business impact or the user impact are going side by side, like not hand in hand. They are going in the opposite direction. So, like for example, every cost cutting or automation initiative like was approved only if user experience was maintained or improved. Like for
Wow.
example, whatever I did. So,
Hmm.
for example, to give you more context, like while launching the chatbot on meesho, like we used to have a customer effort score. So basically, just for some context, after any chat, you will have a small 5-star rating. Anyone will ask you, like you must be aware of that. So you can rate it, like how was your experience. So alongside the cost metric. So since we had a call also as a better option, we had a target of diverting 30% of the support calls to the chat, so that we save that 30% of the amount, whatever we are spending on support, and then spend it wisely on other metrics. So what we did was, since we had both in hand, like we were tracking this customer effort score regularly, we were able to optimize our chatbot very easily. And for example, if we are seeing that there is some problem or the chatbot has failed, immediately we were asking them to like place a call me back request if there was no answer or a solution available on the bot. So basically, we are trying to balance the
Hmm.
user experience also here. We are not trying to like uh, replace or anything. Like we are not enforcing the user that's because we want to cut costs. It's not that you should only use chat. You can use call me back also because we have both the options for you. Now it's time over your resolution. Like if you want a quicker resolution, you can opt for chat. If you have time, wait for a human interaction, then you can go for call me back. Because it's not a
Because,
replacement. It's just the best existing option which we are trying to provide.
exactly. That's a masterclass in stakeholder alignment, because, like you said, you have to, before considering each and every part, you have to take care of user empathy. So that's, solving for users while keeping the business engine humming. So that's a great, great initiative
Hmm.
with whichever companies you're working for. You
So
work with different industries. Yes, you were saying something?
yeah, so basically what I was telling is this ensures users felt supported and not sidelined basically. Basically because we are trying to deliver value for both business and customer also, right? We are not giving a replacement of an existing option. We are
Correct.
providing him an alternate option and just
Hmm.
placing it in that way where someone has no time, he can go to the chat. He need not wait for a call for like, to give you some context, it's 12 minutes stat during my time in my Meesho. Maybe right now
Definitely.
it is way below than 7 minutes or so in the way of how company is growing. So that was the placement of the chatbot. So that is the main thing.
Wow. That is, amazing, because you have so many constant as product manager to take care of. You are, at one place you're working with engineering team and design team and UI UX team. And at the other end, you are taking care of data at a very insightful, you're using data for a very insightful creation of all the projects or all the products plus features you're working for. So that's a very user empathetic approach, I would say, that creates a win-win situation for us, the users, and for the company as well. So the alignment is great, I would say.
Correct.
If it would not have been, the results would not show in numbers, because you have
Correct.
cut down in numbers. 75% losses for a company is a great, great thing. My next question to you is about the industries you have experience in. You work from Citi to Meesho to Upgrad. These are three different industries. So, how did you adapt your product mindset across these, fintech, e-commerce, and edtech domains? Because though the concept or theory remains the same, the in practical in-person experience is a lot of different world in each of the three industries we're talking about.
Hmm. So basically, each industry demanded dialing up or down different instincts. Like Citi, like for example, at Citi, system thinking, compliance were like paramount. And at Meesho, like speed, scale, creativity matter the most for me. Because I shipped features that needed to drive scale efficiency. Like for example, things like audio notes, things like optimizing the complete SMSs sent through Meesho. Then at Upgrad, the challenge was about growing the company, growing the business, making the business profitable, and getting that user trust with a strong focus on understanding the learning behavior, basically, because it's again completely an edtech industry, right? So the fundamentals always stayed the same: get close to the user, cross-functional collaboration, and experiment rapidly. Like, however, I learned to adapt, like being risk averse and detail oriented in fintech, hyper user and data focused in e-commerce, and empathetically like growth driven in edtech, basically. The biggest lesson here is product management. What I feel is product management is not industry bound. Every move requires learning your new user, deeply understanding the primary metric or the North Star metric you are trying to own, and solving for the product's unique value proposition. So this is the main end goal or the main statement for a product management if you want to be in product management.
Makes sense. It's fascinating how you have developed vertical fluency while keeping your core problem solving lens intact. So, keeping your theory or keeping your basics at one place and while surviving in three different worlds. So that's, extremely fascinating for me. My next and last question to you would be, what frameworks or rituals do you follow to stay creative? Because as a product manager, you have to brainstorm and bring ideas. And at the same time, how do you avoid stagnation in your product approach?
Yes. So basically, staying creative and avoiding stagnation as a product manager is like kind of about making creativity intentionally, like through systems, to be frank, like systems, rituals, and mindsets. That is what is the main thing here. Like, for example, I'll tell you some things which I follow, like continuous experimentation. Like, I believe in always having some A/B experiment, test, or user experiment running, no matter the product stages. Like, it builds a culture of curiosity and learning over perfectionism. So you can do a small experiment, get to know if it's working or not. If it's working, scale it. If it's not working, scrap it, move on. So it will be a very faster approach also for you. So that is one. Then the second major thing which I feel is like the regular user contact. Like for example, at Meesho, since I worked on the support vertical, I shadowed the support team to understand the first hand pain points. Then at Upgrad, I run like monthly user calls. And we also have tools which, like for example, Microsoft Clarity, like it gives us heat maps, session recordings, helping us to uncover problems that data alone can't solve. Because I'm
Mhm.
actually live seeing the user recording. What has he done on my website? Then the third one is the problem first mindset. Like every new initiative starts with clear problem discovery. And another major thing is breaking down that large problem into and smaller and actionable pieces so that we prioritize it in a speed way so that we can prioritize it easily. So this keeps thinking anchored in what truly matters to the user basically. And the fourth one is mainly the collaborative brainstorming because we have so many people working with us and they are working in different teams. So we need to be like, I use this collaborative teams. Like for example, it can be a peer review. I have an idea or a feature or a product thinking which I want to implement. I'll put up a small brainstorming session, get a peer review with my colleagues, then go to the business team or the stakeholders, understand their point of view. How will this idea or the feature unlock? How will this work out in a real life scenario? Or will it not work out? So these kinds of collaborative brainstorming sessions will actually help. A-
Hmm.
And the fifth major thing is like read how much you can. It's just not tech, but psychology, design, even unrelated fields. Basically, anything can help you anywhere because it's all you are working for a user who is very unique. You should have the design sense to understand. Okay, you're trying to explain something to a layman who doesn't know, who has come for the first time. How would you explain it to him? So things like that. We should be very simple. We should try to understand that design thinking. So it will all come from learning day by day. So these are some five top things which I generally use to stay creative or not be stagnated.
That's a very refreshing take because, while you have a lot of experience in the industry now, constant learning and retrospection, it's truly are underrated weapons, but you are using it very effectively at your day to day working. So that's a great win, of course. You always have to be a student while you're working as well.
Correct.
That makes the end of our interview. Thank you so much, Shashank, for this power packed conversation. I totally loved it. And your journey is a blueprint for any aspiring product thinker because you cover everything. You cover user empathy, you take care of stakeholder intuition, experimentation, blending systems, creating products, and at the same time, you keep yourself creative. So that's a very refreshing, yet a lot of undermining roadmap created for the young product managers.
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I hope, to all our listeners, if you're looking to sharpen your product mindset, rewind this video. There's insight in each and every minute of Sashank speaking and sharing his journey. Until next time on Expert Matters, keep building boldly. Thank you so much again, Sashank, for joining us today.
Thank you.